We're all set to go for the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY season. And now we wait for the lights to come. Big moment. He's got one lap to try and take advantage.
As soon as I put my helmet on for the first time, I'll be itching to knock off that top stand.
Can he get the job done on the outside into turn 9?
He's back again, hopefully, spoiling the Brazilian party.
Hello and welcome. I don't need to explain why we've been away, but all I need to say is we're back. Hold on to your hats because this lockdown showdown will see 9 races in the next 7 days on 3 different tracks here at the iconic Berlin Tempelhof Airport. The race is less than 15 minutes away. So look no further for your sporting fix. This is the world's first all-electric touring car series. This is the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY. Over the next 7 days, we will crown our champion. And as you can see, there's no fans, there's no stands. It means you've got the best seat in the house. Things could not be tighter at the top of the table. Just 5 points separate the top 2 drivers, but it's far from being just a 2-horsepower race. Alice Powell is nipping at the heels of our leaders. Brazilian Cacabueno, he was victorious here in Berlin last year. And fans' favourite Takuma Aoki, he is surely one to watch. Disabled from the waist down after her horrific motorcycle accident in 2008, his 3rd place finish in Mexico has got everyone talking. Now, before we race here in Berlin, let's go back to the beginning of the season and take a look at the story so far.
Last season, the ABB FIA Formula E Championship welcomed its first ever support series. And this history-making all-electric touring car series unfolded in dramatic style. Series 1 witnessed 5 different winners in the first 5 races. And on the streets of New York, Brazilian Sergio Jimenez was crowned our first ever champion. Season 2 kicked off with a doubleheader in Saudi Arabia, and Sergio was back to defend his title against bitter rival Simon Evans. And when the lights went out, pole sitter Evans made his intentions clear.
Evans dives over to the inside. I think he's just going to get there in front of Sergio Jimenez.
But it wasn't just Evans who had Jimenez's title in their sights. Britain's Alice Powell made her presence well and truly felt with an incredible opening performance.
The battle for 2nd place is very much on, but Jimenez now is in attack mode and looks to the outside as they come down the straight, and there's contact, and Jimenez still turning in. Simon Evans, as he did 12 months ago, wins in Diriyah, and it's 2nd across the line for Sergio Jimenez, a 1/4 of a second ahead of Alice Powell.
Along with some new faces lining up on the grid, Season 2 welcomed the revolutionary attack mode format. An innovation for motorsport, which when navigated correctly, gives drivers a 20% boost of extra power.
All 5 lights are on, away we go in Diriyah. Really good start from Jimenez.
Pro-Am leader Yaki Zhang made a brilliant start, moving past Alice Powell into 3rd. Another Pro-Am driver, Fahad Al-Ghasaibi, was keen to prove a point in front of his home crowd. But when defending his position, he lost control and was forced to retire.
He's trying to force the issue quite a bit. Al-Ghasaibi, oh no!
With the checkered flag in sight, Alice Powell failed to activate her attack mode. And after 2 rounds, nothing could separate Simon Evans and Sergio Jimenez at the top of the leaderboard. Round 3 saw teams travel nearly 14,000 miles west and over 2,000 miles above sea level to Mexico City, which is where the series welcomed back Cacabueno and newcomer Takuma Aoki. When the lights went out, it was a familiar story at the front, with Jimenez and Evans going bumper to bumper. And just like in Saudi Arabia, drama took centre stage. In the heat of Mexico's capital, both Powell and Bueno suffered a puncture, which paved the way for an intense battle for the 2 drivers tied at the top. But the surprise story from round 3 was the unbelievable performance from Japan's Takuma Aoki. Driving a specially adapted car, his 3rd place finish opened the eyes of the paddock and made them take notice and believe that this series is far from being a 2-car shootout. With a world-class rostrum of drivers taking to the grid here in Berlin, just one mistake from Evans or Jimenez will blow this series wide open.
Amanda, we can't reiterate enough how good it is to be back racing. We've already had qualifying and it was special. Talk us through what we're going to see, what we can expect, not only today, but in the next 7 races, because we've got 7.
We do indeed. Right. Today, I think it's all about Sergio. So Sergio is currently leading the championship. He, however, only qualified 2nd place behind his teammate Cacabueno. Now, last year, actually, they had a little bit of a coming to after the safety car. Cacao won from pole position, but it was close. So I think we're going to see action between those 2 as well. Simon Evans is the other one to talk about. Now, Simon really had a very disappointing qualifying. He only qualified in 4th position at the moment, behind Kaká, Sergio and Nick Foster, the Australian who's come to join us this weekend as well. So Simon really has got his work cut out because he's currently battling it out with Sergio in the championship. So all the points matter. We know that. We saw that last year. Consistency is really important. The other person to mention is, of course, Takuma Ayako, the Japanese driver. Amazing drive from him in his first race in Mexico. He qualified quite far back, ended up on the podium. Just goes to show what a resilient driver he is driving with.
Well, it just goes to show how inclusive and how diverse the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY lineup is and has been.
It has. I think I-PACE eTROPHY can be very proud, actually, about what they've done. We've had women racing, we've had disabled drivers racing. It has been inclusive in all of its forms.
Now, you mentioned earlier on the rivalry between Sergio Jimenez and Simon Evans. It really is intense because Simon really wants to get his hands on the winner's trophy. Let's take a look in depth at this close rivalry.
This is going to be the most intense 9 days racing of my life.
Really a third of the way through the championship, 7 races to go. I've won 1 race and 1 pole. Sergio's had 1 pole and 1 2 races. It's still super close.
9 days, 7 races, you cannot make big mistakes. To win another title would be very, very nice. So that's what I want, that's what I aim.
As he did 12 runs ago, wins Inferior. He's off, Simon Evans off and hit the wall.
It's so unique for this lockdown showdown. We haven't done anything like this before, you know. Starting off with the reverse direction from last year. It's almost going back to the old karting days. We used to some days race one direction one day, then the other direction the other day, you know. It's that last layout, you know, about a third of the track has changed. That's going to throw it up even more. Some really tight twisty bits.
The reverse grid will be very challenging. The track layout will be 3 different, but the tarmac will keep the same.
Practice is going to be crucial in the second layout and the third layout. You have 1 session to get it all together before qualifying. So getting clean, precise laps in those 2 practice sessions is going to be vital.
I can win the title. I proved that.
Sergio Jimenez is the inaugural Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY Series champion.
So now I need to keep the cool and keep the drivers behind me. It's the first ever electric tourism car series, and be part of that, be part of the history. It's amazing for me, and I'm really happy to do that.
I've got 7 races, 7 opportunities to take this championship away from Sergio.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to do everything to win the title.
Really looking forward to this rivalry getting even more bitter and more heated. Simon Evans and Sergio Jimenez. Simon, like I said earlier, really wants to crown himself the king of the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY. Now, earlier on after qualifying, Amanda got to meet up and chat with our drivers. Amanda.
Kaká, the best way to return to racing is in first position.
Yeah, the best way. It's a good qualifying. I find one very good lap. I'm happy with the car. I'm very happy with the balance of the car, better than Mexico. And I need to count points now. It's not, don't have another option.
Sergio is, of course, fighting for the championship. How's this going to play out?
The Jimenez problem. No, of course we are teammates, but 7 races. I try to make my best. It's not impossible make 7 poles and 7 wins, but we try make this and pray a little bit.
So Sergio, an important few races coming up. You're starting in second. You happy? What's your strategy?
Yeah, I'm happy. I mean, of course I want to be P1, but I couldn't put the lap together. But need to be patient for the race and collect the points is the most important. We still have 6 qualifyings and 7 races yet.
Is Kaka going to be a challenge?
Yeah, I mean, he always is fast. It's good to have a teammate like that, got pushing you. You improve all the time, so I like.
So Nick, first qualifying, you pleased with your result, 3rd position?
Yeah, first time in the car, first time at a street track that's like this and joining the Formula E. So yeah, really stoked with P3 and hopefully we can move forward in the race. Really exciting racing and fun driving something different for me. So yeah, just stoked to go out there and miss some apexes.
Fahad, really dominant performance for you to get the Pro-Am pole. Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. It's really exciting to be back and also good to see that our pace is still good.
What have you been doing to stay fit and fighting?
I've been doing a lot of slacklining, balance board, handstands, running. Yeah, just keeping myself busy.
Great stuff. Well, listen, what's your strategy for the race? Because you're mixing it up with the pros.
Yeah, I want to try to just have fun, push as hard as I can and see how I finish between the pros. I think I'm starting in P6. So yeah, I'm just going to try to improve from there.
Well, those are the drivers that are going to be competing in the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY, the 4th round of the season coming up for you here in Berlin. My name is Jack Nichols. Amanda Stretton has made it to the commentary position to join me for this one. Just about warm out there, isn't it?
It's warm. I tell you what I noticed, it's quite windy. So these cars have just come out of the hangar, as you can see on the top right-hand side of your screen. They've come round, they've formed up on the grid, and they're cold. The tyres are cold, the brakes are cold, and they're going into a blind first corner as well, with the wind behind them.
Yeah, this is the track that they're going to be facing as well. The reverse Berlin circuit, the start line there where it says start, and then they come charging down towards the first right-hander at turn 1, which doubles back on itself into the sort of switchback hairpin, the left-hander of turn 2. 2 good overtaking opportunities, then starting to sweep around the far part of the circuit, down by the radar tower and the plane, through the attack mode activation area, through turn 5, and then down towards the right-hander at turn 7, which I don't think we're going to see a huge amount of overtaking there because you've got that little kink in at turn 6, out through turn 10 and across the line. That's a lap of the 2.355 kilometre circuit. Here's a look at the grid then. Kaka Bueno is starting on pole position. Alongside him on the front row of the grid is Sergio Jimenez in the other Brazilian Jaguar Racing entry. 3rd is Nick Foster, the Australian, making his first appearance for Jaguar China Racing. A very strong drive from Foster. 5th is Ollie Webb, just behind Simon Evans, who's in 4th position. 6th is Fahad Al-Ghassabi, top of the Pro-Am class. Alice Powell's in 7th position. Gregory Seguers is in 8th place. Then it's Adalberto Baptista in 9th position. Takuma Aoki in 10th and Phil Spooner in 11th position. There's a look at the grid. Spooner starting at the back, just behind Aoki and Baptista. And this is going to be a fascinating run down towards the first corner because basically Jimenez and Evans are the 2 to keep an eye out for as far as the championship is concerned.
As far as the championship is concerned, yes, but I have a feeling that we are going to see fireworks, so to speak, between Kaka and Sergio because both of them are quite fierce and both of them actually want this as well, and I'm not sure team orders are going to be at play.
It's all Australasian second row with Nick Foster, the Australian, ahead of the New Zealander Simon Evans. You can hear the cars moving into position now. And lining up on the left-hand side is Kaka Bueno. Sergio Jimenez alongside him on the right-hand side. Then it's Foster and Evans, the first of 7 races to round out the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY season. About to get underway in Berlin. 25 minutes plus 1 lap. They've got attack mode to use as well. Waiting for the green flag from the back of the field. Everybody looks as though they are in position now. Bueno starting from pole. Here come the lights. The first race in Berlin for the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY is underway. Pretty even start all the way through the top 3, I would say. Coming down towards turn 1. Maybe Foster has dropped back a little, but the first 3 go fairly line astern into the first corner. Jimenez looks to the inside. Foster looking racy to the outside. Might be a little bit dirty out there. I think Ollie Webb needs to be careful not to get squeezed into the wall by Simon Evans because he's trying to get up the inside. Jimenez is having to defend from Foster, who tries to go all the way around the outside at the hairpin at 2. He's going to get run out into the wall there. Jimenez is a pretty ruthless racer, and he's just shown that by showing Nick Foster the barriers, and he's done the same thing again. Foster still trying to hang on around the outside of 3. That is going to be some mega stuff, and Foster has made it through. It's robust action. Simon Evans gets through as well, but I think Foster deserved that because Jimenez tried to put him in the wall at every possible opportunity, and it looks as though Karma might have struck the Brazilian, because he maybe is in a bit of trouble as he veers back onto the circuit in a bit of a bizarre manner as well. Has he got a puncture or something like that, Jimenez? But all of a sudden, the championship leader, maybe he took attack mode actually. Maybe that's what he was doing on that first lap. But the championship leader drops right to the back. Action-packed start.
It certainly was action-packed, and it was slightly naughty, I think, of him to sort of move across the track like that, really, because nobody was expecting it. So a lot of potential there for causing an accident, but what an amazing start to this I-PACE eTROPHY race.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, and it's allowed Bueno to get away a little bit up at the front as he comes across the line down into turn 1. He's got a 1.6 second lead over Foster in second position, half a second back to Simon Evans. It's side by side here as Jimenez goes back up the inside of Gregory Segers, and that is now 6th position for him, because he's got past Alice Powell as well on the run down into turn 1, and now he's straight up the inside of Fahad Al-Ghasaibi as well. So Jimenez absolutely carving his way back up through the order. So he must have just been taking attack mode as we said on that opening lap, rather than anything going wrong. I wondered if he picked up a bit of damage with his robust defensive work.
Well, he certainly has attack mode enabled. You can see the lights at the top of the windscreen there flashing. So that's certainly going to give him an advantage. But what this does is, of course, it plays beautifully into Simon Evans's hand, because he, of course, is in that championship fight with Sergio Jimenez from Brazil. This means he's going to score some valuable points and pull ahead in the championship.
Jimenez super late on the brakes coming down into turn 7. This is impressive stuff. He also obviously has the attack mode, so he's running at extra power, so he's able to get around the outside of Ollie Webb, but we'll just have to wait and see whether taking the attack mode early is going to end up costing him. Here's a replay of the start. It was all fairly even. Simon Evans didn't get a great getaway, but mostly it was fine coming off the line and down towards turn 1. It was the outside of turn 2 where it all kicked off. There's a look at Alice Powell on the number 7 car, going up the inside and gaining a place there for a moment anyway, but then we went side by side. Look at that, down towards turn 2.
That's very side by side.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And there was a move around the outside. That was nice stuff. I think that was from Segers trying to get through. But it was at turn 2 that it all started to kick off. Well, we're not really seeing it there. That was Jimenez taking the attack mode activation zone. But he was very... Oh, that was a mad rejoin from Jimenez. He was quite wound up, I think, after that first lap.
I would love to know what's going on inside his helmet at that point.
Fury, I think, would be my best guess. So, 21 minutes left on the clock as they come down the back straight now. Bueno's lead is now down to under a second from Nick Foster. So Foster took a couple of tenths out of him. He's taken 3 tenths out of him in the middle sector as well. So some good pace from Nick Foster at the moment. Simon Evans is in 3rd. Jimenez is now on the back of Simon Evans. There's Takuma Aoki, the Japanese racer, who's paralyzed from the waist down after a motorcycle accident in the mid-2000s, and as a result he's driving with a sort of braking arm, which we will hopefully get a look at a little bit later on during this race, because it's really amazing stuff. But with 20 minutes plus a lap to go, Bueno's lead is down to just half a second. Nick Foster absolutely flying here. He took 7/10 of a second out of Bueno on that lap, and neither of them are in attack mode.
Well, Nick Foster is certainly no slouch, having raced for many years all across the world, and more recently racing in GT, Blancpain, and lots of sports car experience, which I think is really paying off here with I-PACE eTROPHY, because of course it's quite different for some of the guys who don't have hard-top experience to actually jump into these cars and be quick. The way they handle, the way they roll, obviously because they're also heavy because they're battery cars as well, it all really plays into his hands, and it means that those single-seater guys have got a bit more adapting to do.
Of course, with 7 races and 3 down, it's not impossible with this kind of pace that Foster could end up mounting some kind of championship challenge. It would take a lot of bad luck, really, to befall your Jimenez's and your Evanses of this world, but it's not totally impossible.
Wouldn't it be great if he was actually sort of in the top 3 in the championship at the end of this?
Yeah, absolutely. So less than 20 minutes plus a lap to go. The gap down to 0.3 of a second between Cacabueno in the lead and Nick Foster in second position. Fahad Al-Ghassabi still leading the Pro-Am class ahead of Sagers and Powell. Baptista's running in 9th. Aoki and Spooner complete the 11 runners. But here we come out onto the start-finish straight again. Now, it's one thing having the pace advantage. It's one thing being quicker than the driver in front. But is Foster going to be able to make a move on Cacabueno? That's going to be the question. And also Jimenez and Evans. Now, they are just dueling it out at the moment for that 3rd position, and Jimenez knows that at some point Evans has got to take his first attack mode.
And he is going to be in the position to pounce when he does. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Foster making a move on Cacabueno at some point soon. Probably under attack mode, taking it and really going to optimise on it.
Alice Powell sees a little gap up the inside here of Gregory Sagers, and as a result they have a little bit of a side-to-side contact as we come up towards the left-hander of turn 3. Is Sagers going to be brave enough to hang it round the outside? Yes. Powell's still there. Try and get the cut back out of turn 4, and the inside down into 5. Nicely done from Alice Powell, and she might be able to pull this one off into turn 5. Late on the brakes, and Sagers takes advantage of the attack mode. Smart thinking there from the young Frenchman.
It is, and actually what's important to remember here is, unlike in Formula E with attack mode, where you're in constant contact with your pits and your crew who have got eyes on what's going on throughout the rest of the field, these guys are actually only able to use their mirrors and have to make the decision on their own as to when the best time to use attack mode is. They've got 2 attack modes to use, each giving 20% extra power for a duration of 2 minutes. So that really gives them a good opportunity to use that as they make the move down to turn 7, but also probably as they pass the start-finish line round turn 1 as well.
Yeah, well, a lap here is a minute and a half, so you're going to get a good chunk of running out of the attack mode as we have 17.5 minutes to go. Ollie Webb used his first attack mode then as well, and he is just about half a second behind Sergio Jimenez. There is Foster and Bueno in the battle for the lead of the race, and Cacabueno still that half a second between them. It's going to be a strategical fight here, I think, between these two. When to use attack mode, when not to use attack mode. So, for example, here, will Foster just do the opposite of whatever Cacabueno does, coming down into turn 5, not this time around, keeping his powder dry for the time being. It's a second and a half then back to Simon Evans, who is fairly comfortably ahead of, or fairly comfortably holding off Sergio Jimenez at the moment. And then Ollie Webb a little bit further back from them by about 0.7 of a second, but still it's 5 for the lead, essentially.
If I was Nick, I'd be using my attack mode sooner and actually preempting Cacabueno, because Simon Evans isn't going to make a move on him. He can't risk it with Sergio Jimenez breathing down his tail as well. So Simon's going to have to protect position from Sergio, giving Nick the opportunity to make a move, I think, on Cacabueno. But of course I can see what's going on and they can't. Well, 16, they can.
Yeah, 16 minutes left on the clock. Sagers crosses the line and uses all of the attack mode. And it's still Bueno and Foster fighting it out into turn 1. Jimenez still 4th. Alice Powell is right behind Fahad Al-Ghassabi as we get onto the brakes into turn 2.
Bit of a brush on the wall there for Nick. Nothing too ominous though by the looks of it. Oh, looks like Sergio is going to be lining Simon up for a move anytime soon.
Yeah, Evans covering the inside at turn 3. Can Jimenez find a gap as he swings through the right-hander now of 4 down towards turn 5? Not yet by the looks of things.
It just does look like Simon hasn't quite got that car maybe set up, because we know he's competitive. When he's got the pace, he's on it and he wins races. But today it just seems that he's always been on the back foot to Sergio there.
15 minutes plus a lap to go.
Ollie Webb's got a nice view of what's going on.
Yeah, I think he'd like a closer view though, wouldn't he? Just a little bit.
Just a shame he couldn't optimise his attack mode just a little bit more, but perhaps he's waiting for something more exciting to happen. Of course, he's actually racing with the Lebanese flag on the front of his car today in memory of everybody in Beirut affected by the horrendous blast that we've seen on the news. His wife is in fact from the Lebanon.
Yeah, good to see that from Ollie Webb as he comes across the line, down towards turn 1 at Berlin Tempelhof Airport. Now, Cacabueno's found a little bit of pace, and he is ahead of Foster in 2nd place. Evans 3rd, Jimenez 4th. Ollie Webb with that Lebanese flag in 5th position at the moment. You can see it, I think, on the bonnet as he comes through the hairpin left-hander of turn 2. And yeah, Bueno's found a bit of pace, 1.1 seconds now ahead of Nick Foster, so he's started to pull away a little bit more, and maybe just getting into the rhythm of things a little. Maybe. Again, none of them using attack mode this time around either.
No, this isn't actually boding all that well for Simon either, because of course Sergio has used one of his attack modes and Simon hasn't used his yet. So the moment he moves offline to arm the car and to activate attack mode, it's going to give Sergio the opportunity. We know, even with the extra boost of power, Sergio is a master at defence.
There's some real rattling out there, isn't it? And I'm trying to figure out which car it is. I think it might be Nick Foster's car, but I'll wait for confirmation. But in fact, Werner from the pit lane says that it's the back of Foster's car, he reckons. So you can hear it scraping and clanging, and that might explain this sudden pace loss. If he's lost some part of the rear structure of the car, then that could be the reason. You can hear it there, can't you? Scraping and bashing along. Is it the rear diffuser?
Yes.
Down the bottom right by the right rear wheel.
You can just see, obviously, he's had a bit of contact at some point. Oh, just so annoying.
Probably when Jimenez was battering him into the wall would be my call me Poirot, but maybe that was when it happened.
Good thinking, Batman. Yeah, that could well be it. It's really off-putting as well when you start hearing funny noises. You're racing so hard and so close to the walls here. The last thing you want is to have a failure at high speed, and you suddenly hear this banging around at the back of the car. You're not quite sure what it is, particularly if, like this, it didn't necessarily happen when the incident happened itself. It happens a bit later on.
Simon Evans activates his attack mode then, and
loses position.
Loses a couple of places, but still emerges in 4th position behind Sergio Jimenez. Both now will have one attack mode to go, so it's important for Evans that he gets back in front of Jimenez on this attack mode cycle, because if he can't, then he's effectively lost the net position to Jimenez. 12 minutes plus a lap left on the clock.
So it's Nick's rear undertrade that's actually rattling along there. Not going to do a great deal of damage, but disconcerting nonetheless. And of course the last thing you want is for that to actually fall off.
Yeah, and it feels like it has affected his pace, because he's now lapping the same as Evans and Jimenez and Webb behind, where he was lapping the same as Cacabueno. Cacabueno has also increased his pace. Now here's Simon Evans in the 99 Jaguar up behind the Brazilian Sergio Jimenez. He's got a good run off there, and Jimenez covers the inside line. Evans is in attack mode, so he's got more straight line speed, but is he going to be able to use that? Tries to get on the power coming out of 2.
He's making that I-PACE jolly wide, isn't he, Sergio Jimenez?
Oh, he's gone for it at 3. That's brave stuff from Evans. They go side by side. Jimenez tries to hold on around the outside.
He's gonna do it. He is the master at making that car as wide and impossible to overtake as he knows how.
This is impressive stuff from Jimenez, but now surely Evans will get the overlap on the exit of the corner and then have the inside line on the run down towards turn 7, and in fact he might just cruise past on the straight here because he's got the extra power. So Evans back up into 3rd place. It was important he did that, because otherwise he would have lost that net position to Sergio Jimenez next time they take attack mode. Here's a look at the replay. A bold place to go for it.
Very. But he knew he had the power. He knew that Sergio was busy looking in his mirrors as well, just working on defending rather than necessarily on his own racing line, and Simon was almost lining him up from there.
10 minutes plus a lap to go. Cacabueno leading, 1.6 seconds ahead of Nick Foster in 2nd position. It's 3rd for Simon Evans at the moment. Sergio Jimenez is in 4th position behind him. Then 5th is Ollie Webb. They've got quite a big gap back to Fahad Al-Ghassabi, who's still got Alice Powell and Gregory Segels behind. It's amazing how much you hear the scraping, isn't it? Because you
got no engine noise.
Yeah, and just how quiet these, because the Formula E cars still make a noise, because you kind of want them to make a noise, where obviously the I-PACE is designed to be so quiet.
Exactly. A lot of the running gear on these cars is based on the road car, so therefore it will be a lot quieter than a bespoke race car like the Formula E car is, but definitely. Oh, we've got one of the other Brazilians. Oh, we've got both of them taking attack mode.
So
both Kaka and Nick Foster.
Yeah, so Bueno and Foster taking attack mode at the same time, which surprises me a little. I thought Foster might want to offset Bueno, but maybe he just needs to focus on keeping second place rather than attacking Kaka Bueno now that he's got that damage. Jimenez and Evans right up behind Foster, but Foster will have the more energy. Now, has Jimenez... Now, I'm not sure if those attack modes are correct you're seeing on the screen there. I think those attack modes are incorrect because Jimenez has used one, Ollie Webb has used one as well. I think it's just Alice Powell, Alguersubi and Baptista that have not used any yet.
Or not to my knowledge anyway. Alice will be very pleased now to have made a position there and yes, certainly moved up to 6th position. I think we've seen a bit of a switch round. Alguersubi has now moved down to 8th position, but as a Pro-Am, I think it's just worth noting what a solid drive he's putting in today.
Yeah, Pro-Ams for the less experienced racers as opposed to the professional drivers that we've got in the likes of Bueno and Foster and Evans. This isn't actually Kaka Bueno's first race back. He was competing in the Brazilian Stock Car Championship a couple of weeks ago. So he's back racing already.
I think he's the only one who's actually done a race.
Yeah.
Of all the drivers, actually the only one who's done a genuine race since lockdown began. So 6 months for most of them.
Yeah, exactly. Fahad Alguersubi's just been tightrope walking or whatever it was.
And it wasn't hoverboarding. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a balance board and tightrope walking.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a good way of spending.
Did you do any balance boarding?
No. And I didn't go tightrope walking either, strangely. I don't think I'd be very good at it.
I will reveal now that I started doing sourdough with the help of Amanda Stretton. So thank you very much for all your sourdough tips over the course of lockdown.
You're welcome. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm here all week.
Yeah, exactly. Don't say this commentary isn't relatable, guys. 7.5 minutes left on the clock. Kaka Bueno's lead now up to 2.1 seconds. Nick Foster in second place, still a second ahead of Simon Evans. Basically everybody now in the top 9 has got another attack mode to use. And they have to, well, they'll need to use it before the end of the race. 7 minutes plus a lap to go. Here's the second gaggle. So Alice Powell got ahead of Alguersubi, and then Segers presumably followed through as well. So Fahad Alguersubi's down into 8th place, just in front of Takuma Aoki there in car 24. And this is how he drives, braking with his left arm there.
It's quite remarkable the way that car has been adapted, and it really pays tribute to the I-PACE that it works so well for a paraplegic to have it adapted, because that handle that you're looking at with his left hand is actually mechanically attached to the brake pad. So he pushes and that applies the same amount of brake pressure that you would normally apply through your foot. And then when he pulls the lever towards him, that is applying the accelerator electronically, because of course these cars are electric. That has to be. It's not mechanical.
Nick Foster has taken his second attack mode in second position and managed to stay ahead of Simon Evans. So that's important for Foster, who his last racing was Asian Le Mans Series and Bathurst in January and February. Won actually at Sepang earlier this year. But this is his first racing since then. 6 minutes left on the clock plus 1 lap. And he's 2.1 seconds behind Kaka Bueno. So it's a shame that he picked up that damage from Jimenez on the opening lap, because he was giving Kaka Bueno a real run for his money. It's also interesting that Evans is ahead of Jimenez in their battle over 3rd and 4th positions, because there's a point for pole position, which Kaka Bueno would have got, so the gap between them is still 6 points. Second to third is a 4-point swing, so Jimenez will only lead the championship by 2 points if it finishes like this.
And currently Kaka Bueno has that other rogue point allocated to him, because he's currently got the fastest lap. So these two busy fighting it out. It's therefore quite hard for them to actually get a clean lap in.
Kaka Bueno activates his second attack mode, and he holds the lead of the race. 0.8 of a second ahead of Foster. There are the two leaders coming down into turns 6 and 7. Then you've got Simon Evans there in 3rd place ahead of Sergio Jimenez, who's got all sorts of marks on the side of the car after his various trips towards the barriers. Alguersubi has got ahead of Segers, and that might be because the young Frenchman just activated attack mode and has dropped down into 9th position. There they are, going 3 wide almost, coming down into turn 7. That all got a little bit tight. And also, Jimenez up behind Simon Evans is pretty tight as well. Now, they've both got one attack mode to use with 5 minutes plus a lap to go. So who is going to go when is the question.
It is. It's who's going to blink first. I think I don't know what I would do if I was in their position, actually. I think I would probably...
I thought you were going to commit to a strategy then.
I'm about to.
Okay, here
Having thought about it, I would take it. If I was Simon, I would take attack mode now. Risk being overtaken by Sergio, I suppose, but then, of course, Sergio has the extra minute of attack mode, or extra lap of attack mode on his side. Oh, it's a difficult one.
So you try working this out while you're driving the car as well.
Yeah.
Seguer's up into 7th position with attack mode, gets back ahead of Fahad Al-Ghassabi. 4 minutes left, and there goes Jimenez then. So Jimenez activates attack mode. He is now going to try and charge up to the back of Evans. Now, what he's got to do is close in a bit on Evans when he's in attack mode. Then Evans takes attack modes. Jimenez gets ahead, and then he's just got to try and keep him behind, something he couldn't do last time around, but that is the mission for the Brazilian. On board with Ollie Webb in the Jaguar VIP car, a car reserved for VIPs, basically guest drivers for each race. Ollie Webb doing a good job in 5th place.
He's doing a very solid job, particularly having had no experience and no opportunity to test the car. He's also one of Michelin's representative drivers, so no slouch, a lot of experience, a lot of victories, a lot of experience in sort of LMP as well.
Mario Dominguez is the best finishing VIP driver we've had, with his 3rd place finish last time out in Mexico City.
Super Mario.
Yeah, correct. 3 minutes plus a lap to go. Bueno leading still. His gap now to Nick Foster up to 4 seconds. This is a commanding drive from Caca Bueno. He's lapping 2.2 seconds quicker than the rest of the field now. Remarkable stuff from Caca Bueno. He wasn't on attack mode last time either, I don't believe, so that's really impressive from the Brazilian. Now, when is...
He still thinks he's in with a chance, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
His mission this week is to win fastest lap, pole position in every single race, and just hope everybody else has races where they don't actually score.
Now, here's a big moment for Jimenez. He goes to the inside of Evans, and he gets ahead. So that means when Simon Evans activates attack mode, he will be behind Jimenez, whatever happens, and it'll then be up to him in the last couple of laps to try and charge in and catch Sergio. It's going to be a really, really interesting fight between those two over the last couple of laps. We're coming across the line now, so I think we're going to have 3 laps to go at the end of this one, if my maths is correct, which it usually isn't. Jimenez runs out of attack mode now, so across the line they come.
Simon did a good job there, actually, because it took a long time for Sergio to pass him, meaning Sergio didn't necessarily optimize on his attack mode. Simon is right on his tail now, even with Sergio's attack mode. He'll obviously be activating his soon, and he's therefore got the full benefit of attack mode on his side whilst being close. That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you have done?
I'd have crashed by now. I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Evans is at the moment playing this nicely.
Got a penalty.
Yeah, Sergio Jimenez is under investigation for impeding another driver. Now, whether that's impeding them by putting them in the wall or impeding them by dangerous rejoin from his first attack mode, we'll wait and see any consequence of that. But Evans is now in attack mode, and here he goes then. This is his charge for what I think will be 2 more laps. He's got to try and close in a gap of 1.4 seconds to, of 2.4 seconds to Sergio Jimenez in front of him with extra power. This is the fight for, will it be an extended championship lead? Will the championship lead go up to 10 points, or will it come down to 2 points? So we're looking at an 8-point swing here, depending on the order in which these drivers finish. There is Takuma Aoki trying to get past Fahad Al-Ghassabi, coming down into turns 7 and 8. Al-Ghassabi's in attack mode, so actually that might be Al-Ghassabi getting back past Aoki, having taken attack mode a couple of laps ago. There is the Saudi Arabian driver in front. But yeah, penultimate lap of the race started now by Caca Bueno, and Evans is just a second behind Jimenez. I think Evans has got this.
I think he probably has as well. It's important to just mention, actually, for people who aren't familiar with what happened earlier on in the season, that Caca Bueno had to miss the first 2 races in Saudi Arabia, which is why, despite his dominating drive this weekend, he's not actually currently in championship contention. But I wouldn't if I was a betting person, which I'm not, I still wouldn't bet against him.
Here comes Evans then. Right up behind Jimenez. Jimenez is not going to be able to hold this off, surely. Evans is going to have so much more speed down this back straight in towards turn 7. Looks to the inside now. And there's the move. Jimenez gets up alongside. Evans gets up alongside Jimenez. Oh, and then comes across in the braking zone. A little bit rudely done, but he gains the place now. And Simon Evans back into 3rd place. That'll bring the championship battle down to 2. With 6 races still to go, because we've got 7 Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY races to come. 6 Formula E races, 7 Jaguar races. Especially looking forward to Super Sunday. 2 races in a day for the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY. But here's Cacabueno. What a dominant drive this is. Admittedly, the damage to Nick Foster scuppered his possibilities of attacking Bueno. But look at that margin, 4 seconds over Nick Foster in 2nd place, who on his debut is going to get a very, very strong finish. A very, very impressive finish from Foster. Evans just under a second behind. I don't think there's going to be anything that Evans can do on this final lap with regards to getting 2nd place from Foster. Ollie Webb's had a reasonable debut in 5th position. And then Alice Powell quite a way off the back of Webb in 6th spot. Seguez, Algasevi, Aoki, Spooner and Baptista, the 11 runners. And Sergio Jimenez has been asked to report to the race stewards after the race. So we're not going to get any decisions now, but that could be a crucial moment in the championship if it's deemed Jimenez behaved inappropriately on the opening laps of this race. But nothing inappropriate about Cacabueno's drive. Absolutely dominant. Missed the first 2 rounds, but he is back in the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY with a victory in the first race in Berlin. Nick Foster across the line, great drive to 2nd place, only 0.6 of a second ahead of Simon Evans. One more lap, Evans might have had an opportunity there, but a very, very impressive drive from Nick Foster. You have to say, driver of the race. Simon Evans in 3rd, Jimenez in 4th, Ollie Webb in 5th, Alice Powell in 6th position, Seguez in 7th, Fahad Algasevi in 8th position, Takuma Aoki finishes in 9th place after that fight with Algasevi. Baptista in 10th and Spooner finishing in 11th position. So there is Fahad Algasevi, winner in the Pro-Am class. Nice helmet. I feel like that kind of turquoisey, is it a teal? I feel like that's not a common helmet colour, but it's very nice. I like how it goes with the white. Waving to the marshals, thanking the marshals who have done a brilliant job here in Berlin to keep everything running so smoothly. And Algasevi really taking control of the Pro-Am standings. We'll take you through the standings and championship tables a little bit later on. Maybe Algasevi's just cooling down. Pretty warm this evening in Berlin. 26, 27 degrees centigrade right now. And there's Cacabueno leading the Mo. Foster in 2nd, Evans in 3rd, Jimenez 4th. Top 4 covered by less than 5 seconds at the end. And one of the Brazilians was straight off to the paddock. I think that was Sergio Jimenez. So whether they're all meant to go to the paddock, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll wait and see. We certainly want the top 3 to go to the pit lane, because then they can speak to the wonderful Vernon Kay and Amanda Stretton. But let's take a look at the results after 19 laps of racing in the first race in Berlin, the 4th round of the championship. Cacabueno 3.5 seconds ahead of Nick Foster at the end. Simon Evans in 3rd position for Team Asia New Zealand. Jaguar Brazil's Sergio Jimenez finishes in 4th spot after a very busy opening couple of laps. Ollie Webb and Alice Powell in 5th and 6th. Gregory Seguez in 7th place. Fahad Algasevi 8th. 9th for Takuma Aoki, and then Adalberto Baptista finishing ahead of Paul Spooner. Only just, though, on the last couple of laps. But Caca Bueno takes the victory. A very entertaining race, plenty going on. The strategy of the attack mode use was very interesting to watch. There is Caca Bueno parking up in front of the podium. Round of applause from Bibendum down there. While Bueno tries to get out of the car. Many wins in his career, Caca Bueno. Multiple Brazilian stock car world titles. And another win in the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY. A commanding drive from the Brazilian. Nick Foster with his second place finish. Caca Bueno, who, as I say, was back racing a couple of weeks ago in Brazilian stock car. And that is going to help him in the championship standings after missing the first two races. I've just been pointed out that by Marco Kuppalainen that obviously Mika Häkkinen and Mika Salo both had that kind of pale blue and white combo on their helmets. Thank you, Marco. Good point. With regards to Fahad Al-Ghassabi. So here's the points then. Sergio Jimenez just 2 points clear of Simon Evans at the top. It's going to be a two-horse race unless Caca Bueno can keep winning and Jimenez and Evans run into a little bit of trouble. Alice Powell in third position, just 4 points ahead of Bueno now. Nick Foster, with his first race, moves up into 6th position. So let's go here from the race winner, Caca Bueno, 4th in the standings now, but on the top step of the podium.
Caca Bueno, congratulations on an awesome victory. It must feel good after missing the first two races. 7th place in Mexico, a victory here in Berlin again.
Again. Well, I need this now because I'm so far in the championship and Berlin. I'm already in love in Berlin. Berlin. Always come here and make a pole and win. It's just the first one. We have 7 races. Check the race 1, check it. Start to take some points difference between Evans and Jimenez.
We saw that earlier on in the interviews, that you said that you can, with a little bit of luck, climb the table and get up to Evans and Jimenez especially. You've started off really, really well. Yeah. It's a possibility now. 6 more races to go.
Yeah, but when the qualifying is, I believe the key is the qualifying. The qualifying is a tough war because I showed that in the race. In the first 10 minutes, I'm not the quickest in the track, but I keep the pace better than others and manage better, a little bit better the attack mode. But in the qualifying just for 1 lap, wow, we need to be 100% concentrated to make more 6 very good qualifying than like that today.
You're the only driver in our field who has driven prior to this race with everything that's happened in lockdown. Do you think that's helped you?
I don't know. So different cars. I already racing last week in stock car in Brazil. I don't know. It's better to keep reflex a little bit better, but the car is completely different. I don't think it's helping.
Do you know what? We love a hungry Caca Bueno, a guy with a target. And I think Sergio Jimenez has got the target.
Not can see because of the mask.
Yes. All right, thank you very much. Caca Bueno, everyone. Today's victorious driver, well done. All right, let's go over to Nick Foster with Amanda.
Wow, Nick, that was such a race. What a start. And it really looked like you were going to be making a move on Caca at one point as well, but then maybe some bodywork damage held you up. Just talk me through what happened.
Yeah, the start was a bit of fun. I thought old mate was a bit rude there, so I showed him what's what, and he ended up 4th, so yeah, good on him. But yeah, I was quite quick. I was pretty stoked, but I think I burnt up the fronts a little bit, plus banging wheels and hanging off the fence once. I think it just knocked the rear toe out, so I lost a bit of pace. And yeah, I was just happy to use attack mode for the first time. I haven't really used it at all this weekend, so that was my first time using it, so kind of getting to grips with that. And there's another however many races to go for the rest of the couple of weeks, and yeah, just happy with a good start.
Did you have an attack mode strategy? Because I was wondering if you were perhaps going to attack first on Kaka when you were running really close to him.
Yeah, I thought about it, and then I just snagged the fence when I was sort of thinking about it. So, but to be honest, like I was actually, as I said, it's the first time I've used it, so I wasn't really sure how any of it was going to play out. And anyway, so get the first one in the books and have another crack tomorrow.
Oh, brilliant race. Well done to you. I'm
Cheers.
really glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And I think, Vernon, you are with Sir Simon Evans.
Yes, I am, Amanda, with Simon Evans. Simon, I think first race, that's the result you wanted. You wanted to close that gap on Sergio Jimenez.
Yeah, obviously, it's still a long way to go. So every point you can get are so valuable. You're still got to be mindful of Kaka. You know, he's extremely fast, but I still focus on Sergio. Yeah, we're pretty even. It's going to come down to a lot of the qualifyings, but and also a few opening laps. So it was good to get the jump on him on that opening lap, and then I knew I had the pace to cover him for the rest of the race.
From a viewer's perspective, it looked quite aggressive out there. Elbows were quite sharp, Simon.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, Sergio tried to put Nick in the fence, and I've known Nick since I was 10 years old, and he's not going to give up like that. So, yeah, it worked out good for me. But like I said, there's still 6 races to go. I closed up the points a little, but I still need to do more.
All right, thank you, Simon. Let's go over to Amanda with one of our Pro-Ams.
That's right, Fahad Al-Ghasabi, you're the winner of Pro-Am. Huge congratulations to you. Solid drive. You weren't really under much pressure, it didn't look like, from any of the other Pro-Ams, and you were holding your own, really, amongst the pros as well. You feeling good?
Yeah, it was a really fun race. I was in between the pros, but I just wanted to, you know, push myself, see how well I could do. And I guess all I had to do was bring the car clean. I had a bit of a shunt with the wall. Luckily, it didn't damage. It messed up the alignment a little bit, but luckily, it didn't affect my pace too much.
Listen, I think it was an absolutely stunning race. Well done to you. I think it's going to be time for Podium soon, so you can go and celebrate amongst the virtual crowd. Jack, you've got the podium for us.
Thank you very much, Amanda. Great to hear from the winners, and Kaka Bueno will be going on to the top step of the podium. There is his I-PACE eTROPHY machine in front of the podium. A great little podium setup we've got down here in the corner. Obviously, no fans for it. And it's just down at the end of the pit lane there. You see the radar tower in the background.
Welcome to the podium ceremony for the 4th round of the 2019-20 Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY.
So we're about to have the trophy presentations.
Formula E Championship here in Berlin. 7 races across 9 days means there will be one of the most intense finales in the history of motorsport. Thank you to everyone who's made this finale
teams all down there,
including Formula E, the German government, key workers, teams, suppliers and staff. It's great to be here racing around the iconic venue of Tempelhof. Congratulations to all our teams and drivers. Let's begin the celebrations by awarding our winners. Firstly, I'd like to welcome to the stage the 3rd place driver of the Pro category, Simon Evans, for Team Asia New Zealand.
So there is Simon Evans, another podium for Evans, just 2 points behind Sergio Jimenez at the top of the championship. Big race for him today.
And in
a big
place,
result.
Nick Foster for Team Jaguar China Racing.
Great to see Nick Foster on the podium in his first race. And on the top step of the podium, as he has been so many times in his career and in the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY, he's got a lot of catching up to do in the championship, but Kaka Bueno is on top of the podium.
And now for the trophy presentation, we'd like to virtually introduce our dignitaries. Sarah Marrow, Jaguar Racing Commercial Manager, and Jaco Gambillon, Jaguar Employee.
So there are the trophy presenters.
Drivers, you can now lift your trophies.
Kaka Bueno on the top step. A win. Is it too late for a championship challenge? Still 6 races to go in the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY.
Thank you very much. And now moving on to the Pro class.
Oh, Kaka wanted to spray the champagne. Saunders didn't let him. Brutal.
And for the first place driver from the pro class, the national anthem of country, Brazil.
And now we're going to have the Brazilian national anthem. Get back up, Kaka. Then maybe you can do the champagne as well. The Brazilian national anthem for Kaka Bueno, the winner of the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY.
Pro-Am category winners, please welcome to the stage, third place driver Paul Spooner of Team Saudi
Spooner,
Racing.
Baptista and Fahad Al-Ghassabi, the top three in the Pro-Am class. But the first race in Berlin got underway, and it was a pretty strong start from Pulse de Kaka Bueno. Sergio Jimenez came with him, but Nick Foster soon was looking very busy, immediately trying to get around the outside at turn 1. That didn't work. He then went around the outside at turn 2. There was all sorts of collisions, and Jimenez then decided to take attack mode, which was a pretty smart move actually from the Brazilian on the opening lap. That was the contact that was just before. And in the early stages, Nick Foster was really pressuring Kaka Bueno. It was very, very impressive. But the contact appeared to damage Foster's car, and before too long he started dropping back. Alice Powell sent one up the inside of Gregory Sagaz. The two had a bit of door banging. Jimenez round the outside of Evans, and those two swapped places very often during the course of the race. But it was Evans that came out on top. Jimenez was ahead this time, but ultimately Simon Evans managed to get back ahead and hold on to that third spot that allowed the lead at the top of the championship to be reduced by 2 points. Fahad Al-Ghassabi took the victory in the Pro-Am class after some entertaining fights. He finished ahead of Takuma Aoki, the pro driver, in what was a good drive. Kaka Bueno was so far out in front that he was able to take attack mode without losing the lead. This was the crucial move from Evans on Jimenez on the run down into turn 7, and that secured Simon Evans that third place and that final podium spot. Oh, there was a bit of a slide for Spooner, I think, in his fight with Baptista at the end. But Kaka Bueno victorious. The championship battle gets tighter. There are the Pro-Ams on the podium. Fahad Al-Ghassabi flying on the top step, maybe practicing his tightrope walking that he was learning during lockdown. But Kaka Bueno finally gets the chance to spray the champagne as he takes the win in the first race here in Berlin. 6 more to come in the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY. We're only 4 rounds in to a 10-round season, not even at the halfway mark. So is that man about to stage one of the most unlikeliest comebacks in a motorsport championship? It would be quite something if he can get back and take the victory in the championship. But at the moment, it's still Sergio Jimenez, whose 4th place finish has him in the lead. 2 points clear of Simon Evans. We'll see you tomorrow for more action from the Jaguars.